Hi guys, happy Tuesday. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. So again, it's Tuesday and I'm here to give you tips on how to take your content, turn it into clients, how to use strategies to do that more easily. So something I love about content marketing and content strategies is it makes the sales process easier for me. I do not have sales experience before having my business. So I had to learn all of this from new. I never considered myself a salesperson. So something that I loved is that content marketing, it makes it easier to sell things. It makes it more comfortable. It makes it feel more organic and more natural. So what I'm talking about is what I'm talking about today is a better term for it. I feel like is like strategic generosity, because honestly, it is a strategy. But the clinical term for it, I guess, is the reciprocity principle. So in my business, here's the effect it has. It makes my selling process feel better. It's more natural. I don't feel salesy or slimy. It really makes it feel more natural, like I'm giving something. It makes my sales calls easier. I don't feel like sales calls are interrogations or people are haggling my price down. By using this reciprocity principle in my business, people are more ready to buy and they don't argue with the price very often when they get on the phone with me. That's awesome. Not only that, using this, I get more people into my email list and my Facebook group, so it's more audience building, relationship building, and this helps me get seen as more of a likable, knowledgeable, trustworthy person in my field. So what's the reciprocity principle? What is strategic generosity? Again, it's related to the freebies that I talk about. Like I make the lead magnets and giving things away, but I really want to encourage you to think about it. Even if you don't work with me, this helps me in my business so much, and I want you to have that benefit too. So anyways, the reciprocity principle is something that's just like kind of hardwired into us as human beings, okay? We're wired as social beings to reciprocate when we're given to. It's deep down evolutionary part of our hardwiring makeup. When we're given something valuable, we want to repay the debt. Because we're a social creature, we're a social society, it's how we've survived for a long time in a culture. And that's what's crazy, is that you can tap into it through marketing, through business. And honestly, it's such a this feeling of if someone gives to me, I should give back to them. It's so powerful on this almost subconscious level that when they've done research on persuasiveness, there are 6 core tenets. Guess what the very top one was? Reciprocity. What did he say? Dr. Robert Cialdini's book Influence is called The Psychology of Persuasion. This is how much this matters. Giving something away for free so someone will to like kind of have that like almost like debt, again, strategic generosity, is really powerful. It really does help you. And again, you can do it in a way that doesn't feel bad. And I'll get into that more as far as like the caveats. So what is strategic generosity? What does this reciprocity principle look like in your business or other businesses? So again, like a lead magnet, you're giving something away for free in your business, but without expecting anything in return. Now, you can do this in different levels. You can give away lead magnets, and sometimes you can do that and trade for their email address. They're on their email list, right? But you can also just give things away for free. I do this sometimes in my own marketing when I'm building relationships with new people. I have tools and checklists and resources that if I'm in Facebook groups, I'll just offer. You'll see that I turn any Facebook groups, like, who wants a free tool on checklist for your Facebook profile for your business. One I actually have, if you want it. Anyways, you're giving using this reciprocity principle in your business. That's really hard to say, by the way. Reciprocity principle. Just say it 5 times fast. Blah. You're giving something away for free in your business without expecting anything in return. But here's the thing: you're going to receive good things in the long run, and I'll go into the proof of that and the effectiveness of it. But also, guess what? This reciprocity thing, this giving things away for free, no strings attached, it is a tried and true marketing technique. I don't know if you guys have heard of Gary Vaynerchuk. He wrote this book called Jab, 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 Right Punch, and basically, or right hook, that's the word. But the jab, 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 that's give, give, give. That's a very common formula. Give, 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 ask. That's the formula. And then there's research on this. There's a Forbes article on this. You never think about asking anyone for anything today, including a sale, until you've first given them something of value, a white paper, a case study, a lead magnet, valuable non-salesy information. You want to give before you can ask, before you can get. It's want to even apply to so you guys know I have that social media membership for bookkeepers. I even have it set out in the template of the content. There are 3 types of posts: engagement, value, and sales. It's not all sales. You want to engage, you want to give tips, you're giving emotionally, you're giving valuable tips, and then you can ask for the sale. You can't just ask for the sale all the time. That's not how it works. Okay, so let's talk more about why it works. That way you have a better idea of how to apply it in your business. And as we're jumping into why giving things away for free works, first thing I want to address, because I know it's something I struggled with in the beginning as far as understanding the concept, why am I giving away the farm for free? You know, if you're giving away tips on how to do something in your business, for example, one of my lead magnets is, here's a list of tips for how to update your Facebook profile so it's good for your business, or a checklist for how to make sure you have everything on your website. I get hired to write websites. I get hired to provide Facebook posts. Why do I want to give that information away, right? I'm a business, I want to get paid. So why would I do this? So part of it is just the digital information thing. So there's 2 things. You know, the thought is aren't I just replacing myself by giving them these list of tips? Well, think about it this way. We are not in an age anymore where you have to go to a library and find a book that maybe has information you need. Any of us can Google a question in 0.2 seconds. Any of us can look up a how-to video on YouTube like that. Nothing I'm telling you is something you can't find from someone else. It really isn't. That's just the nature of it. The information is out there. So what good does it do you to withhold it anyways? They're going to find it from someone else. They're going to build a relationship with someone else. So at least have them come to you for it, right? But again, for example, say I have a leaky faucet. Just because I can look up a video on how to fix my leaky faucet, it doesn't mean I'll actually want to do it. So think about it. Think about the time you spend fixing it, getting the supplies for it. I used to be married to a guy who had a whole basement full of tools. That was great. Today, I do not have a basement full of tools, so if my faucet starts to leak, I don't have the tools to fix it. And I don't want to go out and buy new tools just to fix a faucet. I'd rather have someone do it for me. Also, just because I watched a YouTube video doesn't mean I feel confident that I can actually fix it and it would actually work, like it would actually hold. I'm not confident that I can fix the problem well. I want someone else to come in. So, and again, if someone else understands the process well enough to have a YouTube video showing me how to do it, once I get to that point where I'm like, oh, this isn't something I want to take care of myself, they're going to be the first person you think of to help you take care of it. Okay, they know how to do it. They put together information for me that's understandable. I like them for that. It builds trust. So think about it this way. Just because there's information out there on how to do it, even if you provide it, time and effort, not everyone's going to put that in. They're going to want to hand that off to someone else. Truly. And also, again, giving away this way is super common. So Neil Patel, he's a really big marketing guy, big with SEO and things like that. Very smart. He has an amazing blog. I love it. He gives away tons of free information. But on every single blog post, he's like, if you want me to do this for you, you can hire me to do it. Neil Patel does very well. He gives away the farm in all of his blogs. They're super informative, super detailed, but still, people hire him. You see what I mean? Anyways, so again, we're still addressing why give away the farm for free. I'm a business. Shouldn't I be trying to make money? Well, here's the thing. You need to build up trust over time. Again, I'll repeat this over and over again. Building sales relationships is relationships. You're building trust, and trust takes time to build. And if you can't get them to open their wallet right away, guess what? If you can instead get their attention, which is a premium in this attention-saturated world, that's amazing. That is a big win. That is a big win. So even if you can't get them to buy something from you right away, you can get their attention from giving them something free and useful. And attention is really premium. And if you have their attention, and you continue this relationship with them, guess what? They're more likely to convert into a paying customer at a later point. And that's really good. We like that. So I wanted to address that first for those of you who are just like, why am I giving something away for free when I'm a business? It works, baby. It really does work. Okay. So, so why does giving things away for free work? It triggers reciprocity and increases likability. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I'm always getting so excited to get all the details in here. Yep, providing long-term relationships. I guess I didn't flesh that one out very much. Okay, another reason. You are demonstrating your authority. Again, like with the plumbing video, it's just like, I don't know how to fix a sink, so I'm looking up information about how to fix a sink. If I find someone explaining how to fix a sink, I'm like, oh, well, they know what they're talking about. So they made this video that I can access for free about how to do it, but it makes me trust them more. So without them having to, it's a way of proving yourself. It's a way of saying, I know what I'm doing when you give away these free, valuable things. So this is another reason why giving things away for free works. It's a way of you're helping them, but you're helping them in a way that honestly makes you look good. Makes you look like you know what you're doing. And again, you're building relationships. You're building relationships. So I want you to think about this, whatever free thing you're giving away. Think of it like buying flowers for a girl for your first date, or your second date, whatever. You're not expecting things to go very far on the first date, probably, but it's increasing your odds that she'll go out with you again, right? So think of it as buying flowers. Think of it as you're giving something that the girl make the girl more likely to keep working with you. Okay. And again, remember, using the dating analogy as long as with sales, you start out by giving things away, but remember, it's give, ask. You eventually can ask, because remember, when you go to the grocery store, you go to the checkout line, you don't get surprised when someone asks you for money. It's a business. You know that they're going to ask you to pay for the groceries. And in the same way that you build up like this sales relationship, eventually, once you build up this trust with this person, in the same way that once you date a girl and things go well, she won't be surprised and she'll actually be excited when you finally pop the question. Now in sales, I have something of value that would help you that you can buy. If it's a girl, it's proposal, you know what I mean? So, but eventually it gets to that point. You just can't start there. You have to do the give, ask. This is what the reciprocity thing is. And so here's some proof reciprocity in action that I really like. I love statistics, it makes me happy. Okay, so one is the after dinner mint. In that book I told you about by Robert Cialdini, I don't know how to say his name, by the way, but he includes this study. And so this has to do with waiters. So waiters could increase their tips by 3% when they gave a free mint, and by 14% when they gave 2 mints. That's it. How much does a mint cost? Nothing. But if they can get a 3 to 14% increase on their tip that way, that's significant for something that's next to nothing. But it's creating that reciprocity. You're giving something for free, and then that puts them more of a mood to return it, even though it's a really tiny thing. Another good one. This was done by a sociologist researcher back in 1974. I really love this. It's a really good illustration. It was a social experiment. He mailed out 600 handwritten Christmas cards with a note and a family photo to 600 completely random strangers. And guess what? He got 200 replies back. Complete strangers, 600 strangers. 1/3 of them sent replies back. 1/3! They don't know him from Adam. But because he sent them something, some of them were compelled enough to return to him. Now, I will return to this example later on because, of course, not everyone replied, but a good chunk of them did. So keep that in mind as we move forward through this. So here's 3 quick caveats I want to make sure you keep in mind when you're thinking about giving away something for free. They are, it must be actually valuable and useful. You can't just print out a piece of paper with check boxes on it and say, that's it, here you go, hope that helps. It needs to be specific to the person. The more personalized, the better, the more effective. And 3, it must be given without strings attached. Okay, so it must be actually valuable and useful. The more unusual it is, the more useful it is, the better. And you kind of have to keep a long-term vision ahead. And this is an unusual example, but I read this story where this guy, I think he had like a new software to help lawyers, but trying to get a lawyer on the phone is really hard to do. So what he did is he came up with a giveaway plan where he gave them each a video iPod. He put on this was like back in like early 2000s. How old were they? Anyways, he preloaded a video on the video iPod. That's how old it is. Of the company. It cost him $400 each. He sent them to like the 15 biggest firms. All he needed was one firm to agree to work with him, and that's tens of thousands of dollars of work for him. So it's worth it in that case. So try and think about it in that long-term way. Think about something that's valuable, that's useful. You don't just want to spam people with something that isn't worth anything. Try and be strategic and make something, and target, the best people, the one that you really want to work with, and think in that sense. Also, it's got to be specific. You can't just spam people with cold emails and the same solutions. You really don't. So for example, when customers come to me, they don't always need the same kind of content. Some people need their website written. Sometimes people need their social media done. Some people need their LinkedIn profile updated, things like that. I can't offer the exact same, pitch to everyone. So what I do when I'm reaching out, when I'm making new contacts, I do some research on each person, and I have actually a couple of lead magnets, a couple of free tools that I can choose from. Hey, I saw that you're struggling with this. Here's a free checklist so that you make sure you optimize it, and if you need help in the future, just let me know. I'd love to help you with it. It's more effective. I'm not going to send a website checklist to someone who has an amazing website, or someone, send someone a social media checklist that, you get what I'm saying? The more you can personalize it, the better, because guess what? Personalization works. 87% of marketers, they say there's a measurable increase when you add personalization to it. So make sure that you're actually helping them in the specific way that they need. So, and here's the third one. This is very important. You must give this away without strings attached. So, remember back the Christmas card. He sent out 600, he only got 200 back. Now, I want you to remember that when you're giving things away. Not everything you give away will turn into a sale. It's just the nature of it. I have given away so much in the way of freebies and, like intro phone calls and things like that didn't turn to clients. But guess what? He did send out those 600 Christmas cards. 2/3 didn't reply. However, a third of them did. 200 got back to him with replies. So remember that. Yes, not everyone that you give something away free to will turn into a client, but you are increasing your odds of clients coming to you from it. So you kind of have to let it go. It's not going to be a direct one-for-one scenario. You kind of have to trust this reciprocity principle, quite honestly. So that's how it works. Those are the caveats. So let me talk a little bit about how to apply it in your business. Now there's tools, and then there's also like emotions. So the tools are, again, this is very simple. You're giving away something for free, no strings attached for the most part. That's helpful, that's valuable, in the hopes that long term it will lead them back to working with you. And it really does. Like I've seen it work in my business and lots of others. It does work. For example, this weekly video training of mine is an example. I've mentioned this before. I had a woman watch these videos for 6 months and didn't comment, but after 6 months, she started to hire me over and over again. I was giving this away for free. I'm not asking for anything from you guys. But it's led to a lot of relationships. It's built me up as an authority in my presence. It's a strategic form of generosity, right? So it doesn't have to be like weekly lives. It could be, like I said, the lead magnets I make. Like I have the templates that I can make for you, rebrand for you. Side plug. It could be an email newsletter, new tips every week. I have one of those. Post on social media. Like I said, there's engagement posts and value posts with tips. You can write a blog. Again, like I said, Leah Patel has a great blog. Anything like that. It can also be like free trials or samples. I have this in my business too. If you think of Amazon, they have ebook samples. If you like Profit First, Mike Michalowicz on his website, you can download 2 chapters of Profit First, his book, for free. Me, you can download a week of social media posts for free, and I give it away. This is the stuff this is what it looks like. These are the things that you give away. So, but it also, it's not just tools you're giving away, it's not just info. There is emotional reciprocity that you can build up. So the best example I have for this is in the way that I write my posts and how I run my business too. So when it comes to engagement posts, some people will just post a question and expect people to answer it. Now, people aren't always willing to divulge personal information just because there's a question, although a question is a good place to start. Ask, share, ask is a really good format for getting people to be more engaged. So if you ask a question and then share something about yourself, you are creating that debt. You asked a question and then you shared some of your story, right? So you gave something to them. It was an emotional give. So then we're willing to give back. This is why my engagement posts do much better when I actually put my personal information in them. People want to get to know you. They want to interact with people. They don't just want to give to someone who doesn't give back to them. If you want to get to know people, you're going to have to give some of yourself to those people. So think of that in an emotional reciprocity. We want to work with people who treat us well. We want to work with people who talk to us. So give them that emotional reciprocity in your content, in your relations with them. Give part of yourself, and they're more likely to give part of themselves back. Again, it's strategic generosity, but it's still generosity. And again, remember, this is strategic. This is strategic generosity. I don't want you to just give and give and give and give and burn out and be resentful. There is a point where you can ask for stuff. Again, I have this in my content membership. You know, there's every week an engagement post, a value post, and a sales post. Ask for the sale. Tell them where to buy. Tell them how you make things better. Because again, once you're in a relationship with someone long enough and you build the trust and likability, they're going to go to the next level with you. They want more help from you. They want more engagement from you. That's great. So tell them how. Don't be afraid. People know you're a business. It's okay. It's not a secret. And they know that that's coming. Just be so generous beforehand that when that ask comes, they're ready for it. They're primed for it. So for example, a small thing that I do when I send out friend requests to connect with more people that I can potentially help, as much as possible, I try and go and like their business page before I send a friend request. It's a tiny, tiny thing, but it is a reciprocity. I'm creating, strategically, like a debt. And you know what? There are a lot of pages that I've liked and friend requests that I've sent that got denied. Okay, but guess what? I have more people that say yes, just like with the Christmas cards. 400 people didn't reply, but 200 did. And the people who accept my friend request after I like their page, we start off on a better foot because I've given something, and I start off by giving as much as possible. So again, give, ask. Don't be afraid to get to ask, but give a lot in the beginning. So for example, I gave a valuable lead magnet. I do ask that you join my email list or Facebook group to get it sometimes. That's an ask. But guess what? If you have been giving, they will respond. They will interact with you more. You're getting their attention. You're building trust. When you sign up for my emails, just like I'm giving tips, I'm giving information, links, resources. I'm giving through the email newsletter. But then also, you're on my email news list so that when I do have a sale, an offer, I can send that to you. That's my ask. But I give a lot in my emails because I want it to be generous. I feel better when I'm generous with the people I'm working with. And again, remember, give, ask. It does lead to ask, and that's okay. You're a business, people know you're a business. Just try and be generous. It will make everything so much easier for you. It'll feel better, and honestly, things will flow better. So business doesn't have to feel icky. Sales doesn't have to feel icky, even if you feel like it's new or you're not comfortable with it. This is a really good way that makes me feel better about my sales. It's like, how can I give first? How can I give in a meaningful way first? It's served me really well, and it'll serve you well. So anyways, I have stuff that you can do for this. This is my give, ask. So I do have lead magnet templates specifically for bookkeepers that are super affordable. I can rebrand existing templates I have. I'm pretty good with the Canva and the designs and stuff like that. Excuse me. And I'm also updating some of my freebies. So if you're not quite sure how to optimize your Facebook profile, if you're not quite for your business, if you're not quite sure what to include on your business website, just reach out. I have free information. I'd love to give it to you. And even if you don't end up working with me, that's okay. That is okay. I would happily share that with you. No pressure, no strings attached. Anyways, that's what I have for you today. I hope that helps. Anything that I can help you with, just let me know, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.